VPS stands for Virtual Private Server. It is a remote machine that you can access through your terminal and usually runs the server operating system, such as Ubuntu. VPSs run 24/7, so you can use them to keep your services online at all times, like hosting your website, running your backend, or operating a database, but there's tons of more use cases. These VPSs are usually billed monthly, which starts at around $5 for a low-end machine, 10 to 20 for a better VPS that can run multiple services, and above that price range you can get a pretty good hardware configuration. What are the disadvantages of using a VPS? Do you know the saying, not your keys, not your crypto? Well, it's not your machine, you're renting one, so the same applies here. It also promotes centralization, as one entity can make your services or all their services defunct at any time. Working with a server using a terminal requires at least basic Unix skills. It's easy to create security vulnerabilities by not knowingly doing the wrong thing, and privacy is also a concern, as the provider has the highest rights over your server. Then why are we talking about VPSs? Why would anyone consider them an option? For me, it is mainly the simplicity and cost-effectiveness. They are great to start out small or test something quickly in a fire-and-forget fashion. Otherwise, if you want to have something online 24/7, you would need to build and maintain costly hardware, which can be very time-consuming. Additionally to the low cost of a VPS, you can cancel them in a few seconds if you change your mind. We have weighed the pros and cons, but as always, do your own research. Let's talk about DigitalOcean. DigitalOcean, among many other things, is a VPS provider. I haven't mentioned it yet, but of course you can run a B node on a VPS as long as it complies with the terms and conditions of the provider. We have been working on a so-called Swarm one-click install, which has its very first alpha version published on DigitalOcean's marketplace. A one-click install solution is a simplified setup process, meaning you can create a new VPS with pre-installed software on the operating system. The Swarm one-click install pre-installs B node and Swarm-cli for you, so the first time you access your VPS, they will already be available. I will show you this in action. On DigitalOcean's Create Droplet screen, first select a location. I'm going with London since it's closer to me. Then at the Choose an Image section, click the Marketplace tab and search for Swarm. The last part is picking a hardware configuration. I'm switching over to regular and then picking the one with the 2 GB of RAM. Once I click the button, DigitalOcean sets up the server for me, which is an automatized process and should take less than a minute. When that's done, you can open up your terminal and SSH into the remote server. SSH stands for Secure Shell, which is a command that you can use to access a remote machine. By running the Swarm-cli status command, we can verify both the B installation and the Swarm-cli setup at the same time. As you can see, it correctly tells us that we have a B node running in ultralight mode. Finally, I will show you a use case that you can do immediately after entering the VPS, turning it into a Swarm gateway. The benefit of that is that you can expose content, such as your Web3 blog or all Swarm content to the Web2, so people can access it without running a B node themselves. To do that, I will use Gateway Proxy. To get Gateway Proxy, I'm running git clone, then npm install in the folder, and finally npm start. Now I could access any Swarm hash from my browser using my gateway running on the VPS without the need of a local B node. Thank you for your attention.